Hello, sir. So the video, what I discussed with you yesterday, I have a video that we'll be using, but it has Channels TV on it. So I was just telling them if they could put the source there. That's the one for Viable TV, right?
Welcome to Dominion Broadcast House, your channel of choice, with the best stories and the best songs, where inspiration meets entertainment.
From powerful stories to thought-provoking conversations, we bring you content that informs, entertains, and transforms.
Catch top-notch entertainment, including movies, talk shows, and insightful programs curated just for you.
Looking for cutting-edge documentaries, exclusive interviews, and lifestyle shows that matter? We have got it all.
Stay ahead with the latest trends, inspiring success stories, and must-watch TV moments only on Dominion Television.
Join a community that celebrates excellence, innovation, and African storytelling at its finest.
Don't miss out. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on all our social media platforms, and watch Dominion Television today.
All right, welcome to the agenda on Dominion Television, where we delve into the polity of the Nigerian state. And as it concerns you, I'm Chike Ogbogu, and it's time for us to do this again today. On the agenda today, the Labour Party leadership crisis is there, and then we'll talk about the Take It Back movement. The Labour Party leadership crisis took a new dimension as one of the party leaders, Lamidi Papa, took over the party's leadership following the Supreme Court judgment sacking Julius Abure as the party's national chairman. In its recent judgment, a 5-member panel of the Supreme Court set aside the decision of the Court of Appeal in Abuja, which has recognized Abure as the party's national chairman. But on Wednesday, Lamidi Papa himself declared himself as the leader of the party at a press conference, citing the Apex Court's recent judgment as his reason for taking over. Lamidi Papa said all the court's pronouncements had nullified all actions and decisions taken by Abure since April 2023. In a statement signed by Deputy National Chairman, NLC, Mr. Ladi Ilya, Deputy National Chairman, TUC, Dr. Ayo Olorunfemi, the National Secretary, Alhaji Umar Farouk Ibrahim, the National Legal Advisor, Barrister Oyelekan Akingbade, the National Publicity Secretary, Dr. Babayomi Arvambi, and the National Treasurer, Mrs. Oluchi Okpara. Papa said the party's National Working Committee, as of 2022, will meet next Monday, 14th April 2025. Papa vowed that his leadership will take proactive steps to resuscitate the party's moribund Board of Trustees and make it functional. Let's get to hear from Lamidi Papa this morning.
Following the decision of the Supreme Court on setting aside all judgments that recognizes the leadership of Julius Abure as national chairman, I, Alhaji Bashiru Lamidi Apapa, who is the most senior deputy national chairman of our great party, and in consonance with our party constitution's Article 14(2)(a), B, hereby takes over the running of affairs of our great party with effect from today, Wednesday, the 9th day of April 2025, in acting a capacity, and Alhaji Farouk Umar Ibrahim as National Secretary. My leadership hereby call on all members of our party, the National Working Committee of our great party, as at 2022, we meet next week, inshallah, 14th of April 2025, to announce our plans, which will include zoning the position of national chairman of the party to the north and national secretary to the south. My leadership will also take proactive steps to resuscitate the moribund Board of Trustees and makes it more functional. The National Working Committee members listed below are hereby put on notice that the National Working Committee meeting coming up on Monday next week, where we shall immediately set in motion the conduct of world congresses, local government congresses, state congresses, as well as the National Convention, where every member of our party shall have the right to participate, provided you are a financial member. And these are the list of officers. The pre-National Working Committee members before the crisis. The Deputy National Chairman, Mrs. Ladilia, who is from the NSC. The Deputy National Chairman, TUC, Dr. Ayo Olorunfemi. The National Secretary, Alhaji Umar Farouk Ibrahim. The National Legal Advisor, Barrister Oyelekan Akingbade. The National Public Secretary, Dr. Babayomi Arvambi. The National Treasurer, Mrs. Oluchi Okpara. The National Youth Leader, Comrade Eragbe Anslem. The Deputy National Secretary, Kennedy Ahanotu. The Deputy National Secretary, Alhaji Saleh Lawa. The National Financial Secretary, Mr. Roland Daramola. The National Vice Chairman, South-South, Ruben Favors. National Vice Chairman, Southeast, Mr. Okeke Innocent. The National Vice Chairman, Northeast, Alhaji Muhammad Al-Khali. The National Organized Secretary, Chief Clement Oduku, and the National Women Leader, Mrs. Dudu Manoga. I also want to state clearly that our new administration shall conduct a new national convention within 6 months. to usher in a new national chairman from the north, a national secretary from the south. And the threat of violent takes over of all Labour Party offices from the Nigerian Labour Congress President, Mr. Joe Ajero, is a threat to democracy and must be withdrawn with immediate effect, as no one has monopoly of violence. Any attempt by Mr. Joe Ajero to use force will have a dire consequences, including arrest by the police to face treasonable felony. Thank you all, and God bless. Thank you so much.
All right, that's La Media Papa there, the self-acclaimed national chairman of the Labour Party. Meanwhile, a delegation from the Labour Party, led by the Abia State Governor, Alex Otti, visited the headquarters of the Independent National Electoral Commission in Abuja on Wednesday to discuss recent developments within the party. According to a post via the Commission's X handle, Otti presented a certificate or a certified true copy of the Supreme Court judgment regarding the party's leadership. The presentation was part of the efforts to promote clarity and understanding about the party's current leadership structure. The delegation was received by INEC's acting chairman, Sam Olumekun, and other national commissioners. The discussions focused on strengthening collaboration between the Labour Party and INEC. Let's get to listen to Alex Otti.
We may believe, as the word rightly observed, was inserted as belief number 5, as though it was an appendage. Consequent upon the foregoing, the decisions of both trial courts and the court below recognizing Barrister Julius Aburu as the national chairman of the first respondent are hereby set aside, and suit number FXC is hereby struck out for want of jurisdiction. In the same vein, the first respondent's cross appeal, and that is INEC, and no, that's the Labour Party under Aburu, is being an offshoot of the same judgment of the court below, is hereby dismissed. Before I am done, may I admonish political parties and their members to endeavor to always allow their constitutions, rules, regulations, and guidelines to guide them in choosing their officers as well as candidates. That way, incessant internal risks, which always find their way to court, should be reduced. If the constitution of a political party has prescribed duration for tenure of office of an officer, such as this one, such officers should be humble enough to leave at the expiration of the tenure. In the final analysis, I find this appeal to be meritorious and is hereby allowed. Party shall bear their respective course. Appeal allowed. And this is signed by Honorable Justice John Okoro, Justice of the Supreme Court. So we are
Alex Otti there, the governor of Abia State, at the INEC headquarters in Abuja. Meanwhile, the earlier video, we gave the credit to Symphony Media. Yes. All right. Looking at this, the Labour Party INEC alliance, I beg your pardon, the Labour Party INEC alliance and the crisis within the Labour Party. I have with me in the studio this morning a human rights activist and also the chairman of the African Action Congress, the AAC in Oyo State, Kayode Babayomi. It's good to have you on the agenda this morning.
Good morning, Mr. Chike, and thanks for having me this beautiful morning.
All right. Yes, before we delve into the Take It Back movement and the AAC, you've been following what's happening with the Labour Party, the crisis in the Labour Party, and now the union proposed union between the Labour Party and INEC. Yes. So what's your take on this move by Labour Party?
Well, I saw the news yesterday where Alhaji Lamidi Apapa declared himself as the chairman of the party, whereas there's an ongoing press conference with Alex Oti and Peter Obi, where they were planning to make a move for the submission of the authentic list of the National Working Committee of the party. But all these things are just, they are internal wranglings, within the party. And I can tell you, APC, the ruling party in the country, knows, we have one or two hands in this.
That's some libel. That's libel. They are accusing the APC of fanning the embers within the Labour Party.
Even though INEC is not out of it, because we've also experienced this same situation back after 2019 general elections. Our party was hijacked, and the person playing this card was sponsored by INEC and the ruling party.
That's a grave allegation.
No, we have it. We have it on paper, and even though we protested to INEC office several times before our party was returned back to us, and that was what brought a little delay. Little preparation for 2023 general elections. We got a party like 8 days to the closure of presidential primaries, and this same INEC we're talking about, they have hands in it. The ruling party then, APC, they have hands in it.
So you're saying that the crisis within the Labour Party is being sponsored?
I can tell you categorically that the crisis in the Labour Party is being sponsored. Every political party, especially parties like Labour Party, that have diverse of interests, figures from different regions, and this is the first time. Their best outing so far was 2023 general election. So you expect this same and with the kind of crowd they are pulling politically on social media, you expect the ruling party, and that's what the APC are good in, to sponsor agents within a political party. They are going around everywhere, but what happened to us in 2019 will never happen to us going forward, and that's why you see us, more composed, and as a party based on ideological engagement, we are much careful. We won't just allow anyone to come in within the party and take the structure of the party away. Why the likes of Apapa and Oti are claiming that now they own the structure of the party is because there are a lot of atrocities before and after 2023 general elections. Financial.
Are you saying Abure is complicit?
Of course. You can't rule Abure out of this. Yeah, there was I don't know, maybe you remember, there was a lady, part of same Abure's, was it not Tayora?
Yeah, that's the lady who Apapa just mentioned her name.
Yes, how she alleged Abure of pocketing millions of naira. All these things will happen in a political party like Labour Party, because they are here to they are here to know the way forward. They are here to ascertain or have a point where to take a strong position on who to lead them, because the whole 2023 exposed them to a lot of things, both the NLC and the Labour Party. 2023 exposed them to a lot of things that so we can have this kind of strength, so we can have this kind of publicity and all. And the APC are smart in that. They took that advantage, and they're using it against them. Imagine Apapa declaring himself as a functional chairman. When you have two functional chairmen in a party, consider that party gone.
All right, the woman you're trying to remember, her name is Mrs. Oluchi Okpara there.
Yes, that Apapa just mentioned.
Yeah, she was the one who...
Taking a look at the structure of that party, Labour Party, as we speak now, they are not in good shape, and going forward, I don't see any...
you don't see them as a threat when it comes to the build-up to 2027?
Build-up to 2020.
But do you think OT and his crew...
Before 2026, you see mass defection from Labour Party. Take a look at what is happening now. Even though at the Senate, how many how many senators or reps?
Well, five reps have decamped. They defected to the ruling party.
To the ruling party. Yeah. So what are we saying? So I can tell you, going forward, before 2027, latest end of 2026, you see that Labour Party is empty. The agenda of the ruling party sponsoring agents in Labour Party will be manifested, and there will be nothing left in the party. Wow. So that is why, and that is why we encourage the Nigerian people that before you join a party, take a look at the template, take a look at the background of such a political party, not just seeing where there is crowd. And
politics is all about numbers.
It baffles me.
Yeah, politics is all about numbers.
It baffles me when APC will come out and tell you that they have ideology. It baffles me when PDP will come out and tell you they have ideology. They are party of zero ideology. They are party of zero conscience. They are party of zero antecedents. And
but
people
let me ask you,
Mr.
Kayode Babayomi, let me ask you, is politics about numbers?
Of course, when we are saying politics is about number, how do they get this number these days? There are no genuine members in their political party. How do they get this number? It's through the money stolen from the national treasury. That is how they can get this huge number. Tomorrow, assign 10 million naira. Just have a 10 million naira standby and put it to public that you need 1,000 people in Dominion TV, this station. Before 5 a.m., over 20,000 people will be here, and they are not organically, driving. It is just all by money. But today, why do you think it is very easy for Take It Back movement, for African National Congress to come out and say, okay, we are staging, we have a protest or we have a mass action, and you see people coming out without being mobilized? Let them try it. Let them try it. If they will see 5 people joining them, they won't. We all experienced, we all heard about how even the Labour Party that they claimed that they were not paying shishi 2023 general elections, how they were mobilizing from Ogun State to Ibadan.
You don't have evidence for
we
that.
Have all these things are on social media.
Well, we don't believe what's on social media. All we need to see is true facts, empirical evidence.
All these things are, you can Google it. All these things are on social media. In fact, it was on national TV when one of their member in Ogun State was accusing late this man that died, not Ogundo, is
Donyo Okukwe.
Donyo Okukwe. When he was accusing Donyo Okukwe that Donyo Okukwe refuses to release funds. All these things are on national TV, so it is not as if I'm here to fabricate.
No, if let Donyo Okukwe refuse to give out funds, it doesn't mean that the people we saw on camera or in the videos were members of the Labour Party.
They are not members of the Labour Party. I can tell you they are not members of the Labour. Go out. We are closer. I can tell you I'm closer to the people as much as possible, and I can tell you that they are not members of their party. They are just people mobilized with the money they stole from the state treasury, from the national treasury, just to bring people together and have their rallies. And that's why, and when you see the kind of structural rallies they have, I can tell you we are not ready. It is not just by bringing people. We see what happens in other countries when their rallies and campaigns are ongoing. Not as these ceremonial rallies where there's no any point of this. In fact, you won't even go to their rally and hear what they are saying. They are just coming there, going there for ceremony. That's all. If I ask them, how many rallies have you attended, and you tend to know, okay, these are their plans, these are their agendas for the people. They won't even say it because they have nothing to present to the people. Invite them for radio or TV interview or a debate. You see them just,
You're talking about they not having any manifesto or ideology.
They have no manifesto. In fact, their party has no manifesto. In AAC, we have a party manifesto. Omoyele, a presidential candidate, has his own party manifesto.
We're coming to your party. We're coming to discuss your party now, proper, after this break. We'll go on this break, and when we come back, it'll be time for us to get ourselves engaged with the Take It Back movement. Remember, Kayode Babayomi, human rights activist, and also the AAC chairman, party chairman in Oyo State, is here in the studio. Stick around. Don't go away.
Welcome to Dominion Broadcast House,
the
channel of choice, with the best stories and the best songs, where inspiration meets entertainment.
From powerful stories to thought-provoking conversations, we bring you content that informs, entertains, and transforms.
Catch top-notch entertainment, including movies, talk shows, and insightful programs curated just for you.
Looking for cutting-edge documentaries, exclusive interviews, and lifestyle shows that matter? We have got it all.
Stay ahead with the latest trends, inspiring success stories, and must-watch TV moments only on Dominion Television.
Join a community that celebrates excellence, innovation, and African storytelling at its finest.
Don't miss out. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on all our social media platforms and watch Dominion Television today.
All right, welcome back from that break. Let's get to the crux of the matter today. When you go through the papers, the Nation newspaper will tell you, low turnout Mars, Take It Back movement protest in Osogbo. That's from the Nation newspaper. And also, Northern Youths Reject Plan, Take It Back movement nationwide protest. And that's from the People's Gazette. All right? Another one, Take It Back movement defies police warning, stages protest. That's from the Premium Times. Take It Back protest, journalists narrate ordeal in hands of policemen in Rivers State. That's from the Vanguard newspaper. Take It Back movement, police tear gas disperse protesters in Abuja, Port Harcourt. That's from the Daily Trust. These are some of the headlines that made the dailies on Monday and Tuesday in Nigeria. So what happened? Members of the Take It Back movement on Monday protested in Abuja, Lagos, Oyo, and Rivers State. They protested, among other things, against what they say is the misuse of the Cybercrime Act, the state of emergency in Rivers State, and the state of the economy. Clad in their signature orange beret, the protesters in Lagos gathered at the Ikeja on the bridge, chanting solidarity songs under the watchful eyes of the Nigerian police force and other security agencies in the state. The police had earlier called on the organizers to cancel the exercise, describing the protest as ill-timed and ill-conceived. However, the leader of the group and former presidential candidate of the African Action Congress, AAC, Omoyele Sowore, insists that the protests must go on. Okay. Discussing this with me, the Take It Back movement is the chairman of the AAC in Oyo State and human rights activist, Kayode Babayomi. It's good to have you again on the program. And now it's time to talk about Take It Back movement, not Labour Party this time around.
The only standing movement in Nigeria today.
Well,
the only movement responsible, the only movement who has been, taking responsibilities on behalf of the Nigerian people. In fact, who has done more better than the ruling party, APC, Tinubu himself. So,
well, Take It Back movement is not a political party.
It's not a political, it's an organ of a party.
It's just a movement.
A movement, yeah. That's why I say
it's
an organ of a party,
now,
AAC.
Your signature, which is the orange beret, yeah, and the Revolution Now.
Yeah.
On Monday, there was this protest that erupted in about 4 states in Nigeria.
Not only 4 states.
Yeah. Four major states. Yeah.
Well, I disagree that
I know it happened in Osogbo, It happened in Osun State.
Yes, it happened in Ondo State.
Yeah.
It happened in Edo State.
It was sparse.
Happened in Delta State,
Yeah.
Adamawa, Ebonyi, Yobe,
Okay.
Benue,
Okay.
Borno. We have comrades across.
Yeah, so
the
back to
federation,
it now. At some point, people didn't believe that protest was going to occur. But you guys came out on the streets.
That is how
to protest.
That is how the revolution that we're clamoring for will happen, because people will not expect it, the ruling class will not expect when the revolution will come up.
You know, when you talk about revolution,
so
you know there could be a peaceful revolution.
Of course,
revolution is not violent.
Of course, and that's our stance.
Intellectual revolution,
and that's our stance.
There could be
that's our stance.
A dialogue as a revolution.
If you are making a dialogue with a set of people in power today, you are just wasting your time. You know, there are a lot of dialogue in the past, but what's the profit? What's the result? What has it brought to the people?
So what did you protest about?
These same people will come out with charts and graphs to deceive people that can see the economy is working. You can see the start of the food prices and all. They are deceiving people of which their statistics doesn't reflect on the lives of the people of Nigeria. So what are we saying? Are we deceiving ourselves? And taking a look at our protest on Monday, it was a nationwide protest, as you know, and it was all about the repealing of the Cybercrime Act, which is meant to silence the voice of the Nigerian people, which is meant, to capture the voice of the opposition voices in the country. It's also a way, to ensure that the freedom of speech and expression in Nigeria is out, of the system. And that's why Nigerian youths are out to say, no, we don't want this act. This act only, shield the politician. This act only covers up the corrupt politicians in power, and and hard to jail all other voices speaking against them. There is a particular section in this Cybercrime Act that if you insult someone, if you call out a politician out, you can be sent to jail. With an ordinary WhatsApp post, you can be sent to jail. Calling the state of the nation, tagging the government officials, or insulting a politician, you can go to jail with this evil act. It is an act, to curb. It is an act, to ensure that there is no space for any cyber crime illegality in our country. It is a crime that should go against the Yahoo boys, the frauds, all and all. Not for the people who are speaking, not for the decent voices we have in the country.
But you can address a politician without insulting the politician.
When we are talking about insult, I might address you in a proper way and you feel insulted with it. This, as far as that act is in place, they have, they use it to jail people, to jail activists, journalists. That's why, when I was addressing the journalists, I said, journalists should also join us in voicing out. Journalists also join us in repealing this evil act, because it is not only, it won't only affect we activists. It won't only affect we only opposition voices. It will affect everybody, be it policemen, be it soldier, be it anybody. It will definitely affect. And and what some people don't actually know is that some people, their party or their people are in government today. They criticize less. And if you allow that this act should fly, maybe the act is finally in place. By the time their government or their leader or their politician are no longer in power, and another set of people are in power, and they tend to criticize, this act will be used against them to nail them, penalize them, and send them to jail. So we have series of cases. Yes, we have series of cases that the take-over movement has handled and ensure justice. So why do we have to open our eyes and allow such acts, to thrive, to stand? It's not possible. And we, as the voice of the people, we as activists, I don't know. Maybe if we die, yes, that is the only time you won't see us talking. That's the only time you won't see us, addressing the state of the nation, calling out politicians out. Look at what happened in Alengogo market yesterday, where Makinde, they gave them like 7 days ultimatum, and early morning yesterday they took caterpillar there, they crushed every building down. Look at the way the Makinde government of Oyo State has been grabbing lands everywhere. And when people come out and we activists, we see to all these things, the people informed us, and we have a right to speak, to criticize. We are not only criticizing, Mr. Chike. We are not only criticizing as if all because we are opposition voices or we just want to talk. We have facts.
Okay, so now talking about facts, when you say the governor is grabbing lands anyhow in Oyo State, have you gone through the master plan of Oyo State?
I can tell you, maybe because they have not protested down to this station. Maybe that's why you're thinking maybe it is the same law that claims that the lands belong to the government. Also, same law gives preference to the landowners, to people occupying those lands. So what are we saying? So if the government...
Are they occupying the lands legitimately?
Legitimately.
All documents fully paid to the government?
All documents. They are legitimately, they are occupying those lands legitimately. Along the process, they protested. I personally joined them to protest, of which I don't have lands there, I don't have family there, but same people living in 2-bedroom, and suddenly you say, okay, they should leave. Someone struggling to live under 2-bedroom is now trying to get a room and parlor, a face me and face you, to live. Someone that this is very, very heartbreaking, because when you see those people, the people affected, you cry, because they have no option. They have no option. They have been displaced. In fact, even though, let's not talk about the people, let's not talk about the lands, because there are some lands there that there's nothing on it, but at the same time, these people have documents from the state secretariat. Who are those people in secretariats granting them all these documents?
But the government has the right to take back any land at any time after a notice has been given. Okay. Were they given a notice?
Was there any provision for from the government that okay, we are taking this land, but we are making provision for this? There are some people that in the past that the government has grabbed their land in the past. A land on that very same land, there's a 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom flat. When they go to state secretariat after the estimation and all, they said the worth of the land is around the property on the land is 300,000 naira. A 2-bedroom flat with 300,000 naira. Are we kidding? There's no housing plan from the state, housing scheme plan from the state government. So, and you just want to chase people out of their comfort houses. So they should now start sleeping on the street? No. Let's come back to the protest.
Yes.
On Monday.
Yeah.
As you can see that people believe at this junction, when Take It Back moment comes out to say we are going for this, no going back. When we tell you we are going for a protest, no going back. If heaven will fall, heaven will fall. The NPF, Nigerian Police Force, released a statement that the protest was ill-timed. We are now asking them, is there any time we cannot demand for accountability?
So the reason why the Nigerian Police Force said it was ill-timed was because that same day was the National Police Day.
Good.
So the police were celebrating their day.
Good. That same day that happens to be the National Police Day, are you telling me their boys on the street will not collect 20 naira, 50 naira? So before we react, there is an action that strikes us to react. So on that same day, are you telling me that police will not, their boys will not use POS to get cash from.
I've not seen police officers with POS machines.
But if you go to their stations, they have a standby. They will tell you to. They will tell you to go there. In fact,
are you a regular there?
In your state here, no, I mean, there's ever, like every week I go to Yaganku.
They arrest you?
Not. They've arrested me in the past. Last year I was arrested like 2-3 times. You know,
I remember during the local government elections,
the June 12th, the October election, October protest as well. I was arrested. So,
do you feel happy whenever the police come and they pick you up?
How will I feel? How will I feel happy?
Because you're fighting for the people.
When they are doing the wrong thing. So how will I feel happy?
But you are fighting for the people.
We are not even fighting for the people alone. We are fighting for them as well. Now, do you know, since my leader, Omoyele Sowore, has embarked on illegal IGP, Egbetokun, do you know how many officers that have been promoted? That is the essence of struggle. And that's why, you know, maybe, I don't know, maybe you are at our protest, there's a video trending where we sang Egbetokun.
Yeah, whatever song you sang.
All right.
Whatever song you sang, let's leave that song.
All right. So not that we are happy, but we feel so sad that the same police we are fighting for are the same set of people attacking us. It is so sad. You know, a situation whereby when they are less paid, when we believe that they should have a better, style of living, when we feel that their mode of dressing should change, that the government should take responsibility on them, it is the same set of people who will come after us, fire tear gas, live bullets, I don't know. The one that happened June 12th, I was bundled, I was heated, handcuffed, you know. And if you see those guys, they are normal guys that, even though I'm very sure none of them, as in many of them, don't have what to drop on table before they leave home. But because they want to please their master, they want to. It's so sad. And let me tell you something. When we get there, they tell us too that activists, comrade, you are fighting for us. Yes, that they are happy.
But they're also happy to arresting you.
Pleasing their boss. And that's why we tell them that the revolution will start from them as well. I keep saying there is need for resistance mentality. When the Nigerian people have the resistance mentality, when we all have the resistance mentality, that is when we can start seeing that very massive change. When if things are going wrong, you can revolt on your own without anybody telling you, without anybody saying, just as if I'm on my way going and I saw maybe policemen, trying to do one illegal, I will stop. In Oyo State, there has not been a viable opposition in Oyo State at the moment. What?
And then your party seemed to be in passing.
I don't know your own definition of a viable opposition.
A viable opposition that is constructively criticizing the government.
Well, when you say constructively criticizing the government, I can tell you the only opposition party in Oyo State today, they can speak the way it should. They can speak, directly. It's the matter at the right spot. It's African National Congress. All other parties are in bed with Makinde. All other parties are in bed with APC. So what are we saying? So when you are talking about opposition voices in Oyo State today, go ask any other political parties.
Maybe you were locked outside. You didn't get home on time.
There's nothing like locked outside or not getting home on time. Yeah, they know that
if others are in bed, it means you didn't get home on time.
No, we choose not. That's why we are different.
Oh, you chose not to even enter the house.
We never.
But shouting from outside would not even give you any hearing.
People who has entered the house, how many of them have you seen shouting? How many of them have you seen? Have you ever seen any changes since they entered the house? What the first thing that happens when you join them is to kill your conscience. Once they kill your conscience, they bury it. That's all. So it's better you stay outside and fight, mobilize, ensure that people joined you, you know, in fighting them, not when you are in the house.
Local government is the one closest to the people. It's supposed to be the closest to the people.
Yeah.
There was local government elections in Oyo State last year. Now
that was a charity. That was not.
That was when you were arrested
that was
at
not an
a
election.
there.
Yeah, that was not an election.
What was it? Your party took part.
Of course,
So it's an election because you took part.
We took part.
Yes.
We took part, giving our own options. That okay, OSEC, will you be transparent? OSEC, will you be neutral in this process? At a point, we pushed for beavers. They said due to the delay from INEC, that INEC were unable to release beavers for them. All right. What about provision of security and all? They said they are good to go. All right. We pulled our candidates, and I can tell you all our candidates campaigned. I can tell you, if not because of the influence of the African National Congress, nobody will have, will be aware that there was a local government election. The publicity we gave to the election, the mass attention we drive from it, all and all, makes the Nigerian people know that something is happening in your state. And on the day of election, we saw how they played their games, how ballot paper were not taken to some units till like 2 a.m. We have all these evidences. Yes, how talk took over some polling units and all, how there was a polling unit. Yes, there was a polling unit where when you go there, they will tell you that, okay, are you PDP or APC or other party? Once you tell them your other party, they will say, take this route, go back home. If you are voting for PDP, they will give you the ballot paper and mama and pap. You take the ballot paper and vote for their party and you go back. Once you tell them you are not from their party, they will tell you, take this route and go back to your house. Their talks, Alban Kudi was the one in charge of Oli was 7. I'm a political person,
yes,
and
we need to be very careful.
We know
with
their
names.
agents, so I can
we need to be very careful with names. Because it could be libelous.
No problem. We have videos. Let them.
No, it could be libelous.
Anyway,
so we need to be careful with names.
But their agents that they used in crippling, in crushing democracy at the local level, we all know them. How police worked in line with them, how I was picked, because Oli happens to be one of our strongholds, Port 7. And we knew that if the election was free and fair there, our candidate we win, we definitely come out victorious. So what are we saying? So they knew that. Yeah. They knew that once I'm there, you rather fire us. That's all. Yes. In fact, we want to have a live broadcast from that morning of election till after the election at that very same spot. But they knew that, okay, if these people they don't want to attack the press. So that the only opportunity they have is not to allow us to have that kind of situation. And before you know, I was arrested. They took me to Yaganku, from Yaganku to Elele, detained me till after that election. It was after election, the then CP said, okay, you can go. And later, we filed a petition. And even though it was African National Congress, our party, that forced them to have, to open for a tribunal. They don't have the intention. It was we, African National, that forced them that we are going to tribunal. That has never happened in the history of Oyo State. And when we go, and in the process of filing for tribunal, did you know how these people came out again?
If your party had won any seat in the local council,
we won in other states.
Would you? No, in Oyo State.
Okay.
Would you have been a proponent of local government autonomy?
Of course.
If you had won any seats.
I want you to know right now that we are advocates of the people. Whatever will benefit the masses, that's what we push. Anything against the masses, we are out of it. AAC we have been, an advocate of local government financial autonomy. But it was so sad that the current people in Oyo State, they are against it, even though right from the governor, right from Makinde to the speaker, Ogundoyin, saying there is no need for... I don't... That's why people should, before electing or supporting any candidate, people should ensure that they have a little background knowledge about the people they are supporting. There was a video then. We circulated that video. That same marketed that does not believe in local government autonomy is the same set of people you want to, that was in 2019. That same set of people that doesn't believe in local government autonomy is the same set of people you are supporting. Same Ogundoyin came out after the election that no local government financial autonomy is not practicable. After the election, they were planning to pull out of Noge. I don't know, maybe you're aware of it. So these people, they are actually not for the people. So I can tell you by the time, if we have won any seats, I don't know what will happen now, because we will stand on our toes, on our feet, that local government financial autonomy is practicable, achievable, and the Supreme Court has ruled it out that every state should start practicing it. And that's why, the reason why all these people are not interested in local government autonomy is because it is an avenue for them to pocket state funds and all. Because that's where the bulk of the money they are stealing comes from, local government. So once they can pocket the local government, and that's how they ensure that they have all the seats in the local government. So once they can capture all the seats, automatically they've captured the financial structure of that local government.
The AAC, lastly, before we wrap it up, the AAC has been on ground for a while. However,
2019.
Yeah, it's a while. A kid born 2019 should be about some years old now.
Okay, but
now 8 years thereabout. Now, you've been around for a while. However, you've not made a mark when it comes to winning anything. So your party is being termed. Hold on a bit. Your party is being termed the serial losers and the noise makers.
They are not serial losers.
What are you doing to upturn that notion?
The question.
And what strategy? What strategy are you using to making sure that
thank you very much.
You get into the minds of the people?
The question you need to ask. Let me first react to the last one you said, that maybe we are not in the mind of the people. I want to tell you that we are in the mind of the Nigerian people, even we are on their faces.
But the Nigerian people are not in your minds.
Wait. But the question that you need to ask is that, have we ever had any credible elections? Have elections we were having, have they been free and fair? Those are the questions. In a sane climate, having a credible elections, free and fair election, do you think PDP and APC will still be do you think PDP and APC, they will still be in power? Do you think APC will win any seat in Ondo State or in Edo State? And these are the questions, but I don't know how people shy away from all those questions, because
can there ever be a free and fair election in the world?
At least there should be.
Why is it that they always tell you elections should be free and fair, not free and good?
Free, in fact, anyhow you put it, free, fair, good, and credible election, that's how election should be. But as in Nigeria, our elections have not been free and fair. Our elections have not been credible.
Is that the excuse for the AAC not winning any seats?
It is not only maybe only the election alone. The processes, have they been free and fair? See, we have to come to a certain situation.
So you've not been treated fairly by the electoral umpires?
The electoral umpire are not for the Nigerian people. They are for the people in power. They are for the political party ruining this country, not for the people. So we are familiar with that. And the Nigerian people also, and that's why you see low registrations, low vote turnouts on the day of elections, because people have lost trust in the electoral umpire. So what's the case? There are some areas that you have total numbers of voters, maybe 10,000, the 10,000, the people that will come out will be less than 2,000. Because people believe that, they've written it somewhere. We know what happened during 2023 general elections. The recent one in Oyo State, the local government elections, where ballot paper were delayed, where some polling unit, there were no ballot paper all through. Was that an election? No. Should we continue with that? No. What should the people do? The people of Nigeria should mobilize themselves and revolt against these processes. The processes is not giving them what they desire. The process is just the interpretation of what I want, what I order versus what I got.
Okay.
So Nigerian people should mobilize. Nigerian people should organize rather than to agonize at this very critical point and mobilize against all these processes. 2027 is coming. Another voting voter registration will come up probably end of this month till 2026 or yes 2026. People should come out. People should get their voters cards, get registered, and be determined. Be determined that no, we are chasing these people out of power. And taking a look at what we have today, I can tell you, if they should give birth today and ask the child that who will you be supporting in 2027, they will tell you that it's almost sure.
Well, it's not time for campaigns yet,
right,
so let's leave that when it happens. All right, it's time for us to wrap it up. Thank you for featuring on the agenda this morning. Kayode Babayomi is the state chairman, AAC in Oyo State, and also a human rights activist this morning. All right, my name is Chike Ogbogu. Tomorrow morning will be another time for the agenda. Until then, enjoy the rest of our programs. Good morning. Bye for now.
Welcome to Dominion Broadcast House, your channel of choice, with the best stories and the best songs, where inspiration meets entertainment.
From powerful stories to thought-provoking conversations, we bring you content that informs, entertains, and transforms.
Catch top-notch entertainment, including movies, talk shows, and insightful programs curated just for you.
Looking for cutting-edge documentaries, exclusive interviews, and lifestyle shows that matter? We have got it all.
Stay ahead with the latest trends, inspiring success stories, and must-watch TV moments only on Dominion Television.
Join a community that celebrates excellence, innovation, and African storytelling at its finest.
Don't miss out. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on all our social media platforms, and watch Dominion Television today.